In this video, we're learning about DNA replication. So we'll cover what DNA replication is, how DNA replication works, and finally, how the leading and lagging strands are synthesized. If we start with what DNA replication is, we use this term to describe the process by which DNA makes a copy of itself before cell division. So if we've got one cell here, and it contains a certain amount of DNA replication doubles the number of DNA molecules just before the cell divides. And in doing so, it ensures that each new cell has the same genetic information and the right amount of it. We sometimes refer to DNA replication as semi-conservative DNA replication. This is because each new DNA molecule consists of one original strand, but also one newly synthesized strand as well. Next then, let's look at how DNA replication works by grabbing a DNA molecule and breaking down each step in the process. First, this enzyme, called DNA helicase, binds to the DNA molecule and moves along it. The job of this enzyme is to help break down the hydrogen bonds between the complementary base pairs on the two DNA strands. And this makes the double helix unwind and the two DNA strands separate. And now that they're separated, each of these strands acts as a template for free nucleotides to bind to. The free nucleotides pair up with the exposed bases on each template strand. 2 hydrogen bonds form between adenine and thymine, while 3 hydrogen bonds form between guanine and cytosine. Okay, so if we grab the top strand and add in the rest of the bases, and then also do the same for the bottom strand over here, we can now take a look at how these new bases link up to each other. In order for this to work, we need a different enzyme, DNA polymerase, and this catalyzes the formation of phosphodiester bonds, and so creates the sugar-phosphate backbones of the 2 new DNA strands. At the end of the process, we've got 2 brand new molecules of DNA, and they're both identical to the one we started with. An important thing about DNA polymerase, though, is that it always moves in the 5' to 3' direction, as it helps to synthesize a new strand of DNA. So it starts at the 5' end and moves towards the 3' end. To finish up, let's take a look at what leading and lagging strands are and how they get synthesized. The leading and lagging strands are just terms we use to describe each of the new DNA strands that are synthesized during DNA replication. To understand why they're given these names, first we need to recap that each of the DNA strands are antiparallel within one DNA molecule. That means they run in opposite directions. So one strand runs from 5' to 3', and the other strand runs from 3' to 5'. Then, while the DNA double helix is unwinding, one of the new strands, which we call the leading strand, can be synthesized continuously by DNA polymerase in the same direction as the helix is unwinding, which, remember, is in the 5' to 3' direction. But remember that DNA polymerase only moves in the 5' to 3' direction when it's synthesizing a new DNA strand. So the other new strand, which we call the lagging strand, can only be synthesized in fragments in the 5' to 3' direction, which on this strand is the opposite direction to the unwinding of the helix. So, DNA polymerase binds to the 5' end on the lagging strand as close to here as possible, and catalyzes the synthesis of a few phosphodiester bonds in the 5' to 3' direction, but it then quickly reaches the end of this new strand, so only a short fragment can be made. Then once a bit more of the helix is unwound, DNA polymerase can jump backwards to a new 5' end and repeat this process to synthesize another fragment. And this process happens again and again, creating small fragments of DNA that we call Okazaki fragments. Then, once they've all been made, another enzyme, called DNA ligase, joins these Okazaki fragments together, completing the lagging strand. And at the same time that this has all been happening, DNA polymerase has just been moving along the other strand and synthesizing the leading strand continuously in the 5' to 3' direction. So, because it's not creating the DNA in small fragments, DNA ligase isn't needed on the leading strand at all.
If you haven't heard yet, you can find all of our videos on our website, cognito.org. You'll also find questions, flashcards, exam-style questions, and past papers. And we track all of your progress so that you always know what to study next. So sign up for free by clicking here, or browse our playlist here on YouTube.